Because one of the things I did notice, the bounce. What's up with that bounce? Welcome to Rip Roaring Garage. I'm Alex, and let's address the Hellaphant in the room. Last video, I put out some predictions, and I feel that they were very off. Let's talk about why. Just briefly, an exam is only as good as the professor. Maybe somebody needs to invest a little bit more with Dodge, understanding the difference between exhaling and inhaling, intake versus exhaust. However, I was correct with cylinder head pressure, which did give a fairly accurate value for the torque for this car. Everything else wasn't like totally wrong, 950 to 1025, so there. So we all know the new Dodge Demon 170 came out, and well, it's been making a lot of waves. I am going to continue on the trend of calling out certain channels that have made ludicrous claims. No shortage of crazy, wacky numbers. Dodge Demon 170 is cheaper than the original Demon.
What?
I go to my dealership thinking, well, you know, I've been a good customer. Maybe that buys me some goodwill. Nope, not even close. In fact, the moment I walked in, I was told, I won't say what. You warned me, sir. You warned me. It's going to be a bidding war. The prices will be astronomical. There's already reports that the cars are going to be $170,000 to $400,000 markup on top of the 90-something thousand, 666. Like, we get it, it's a Demon, evil numbers, woo. Now, it's no surprise to everybody what's happening with SVB, banking in general, interest rates going up, and overall the economy just... What will that mean for these cars is you'll have a lot of people putting in orders, putting in a down payment, and by the time the car is being built, July to December, they may find themselves in a position where they can't buy the car. Total banking collapse, interest, total lockdown for H5N1. Scary stuff, apparently. All these things could spell big uncertainty for the Demon. And if you're going out there bragging that you got a car, especially after having orders for Hummer EV, Corvette Z06s, TRXs, now a Demon, as well as a jailbreak, buddy, don't butter your bread before it's toasted. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are still trying to get an allocation, waiting on your car to be built. When you hear somebody that has all these orders, it's gotta sting a little bit. I know there's some of you guys that have placed multiple orders, and I'm talking 2 orders, the same car, you know, talking Scat Packs, mostly an issue of unreliable dealerships. I understand that perfectly. Now, after saying this about ADM and allocations, I'm not sure how Dodge's plan, its marketing of this car, is going to help the brotherhood of muscle. Imagine you're somebody that just dropped some ridiculous amount of markup, 200K ADM for a Black Ghost. Now the Demon comes out, I don't wanna, you know. Those guys, they're not gonna be happy. There's nothing you can do short of taking the car back. It's not gonna happen. Stocks go up and down. People that buy these cars as investments, you know, sometimes they get burnt. Bottom line is, you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be cursing Dodge's name. I bought these cars because I love them. You've seen, not everything in my inventory is super cool or whatever. For crying out loud, I have a freaking bus and a couple of smashed up cars that are worth nothing except the world to me. Now let's talk about the reveal. There's a couple of things I feel that need to be pointed out that just don't sit right with me. It kind of ticked me off. And we're not talking about sour grapes. Yes, maybe there's a level of that, and I'm big enough to accept that I'll never be able to get this car, so I have that tiny bit of resentment towards it. It is what it is. So we all saw the last teaser video with the leprechaun, Buffy McBuff, you know, jumping out of the helicopter. Now I'll say this, the helicopter shows mostly to be a Blackhawk. And then all of a sudden you're inside and the sound is of a C-130. It's going brrrr versus...
Are you insane?
That just bugged me. In fact, that was the moment I realized that my predictions were probably going to be off. The people that made those videos don't know what they're doing. At least I thought that they were going to get a Blackhawk, something cool. Instead, they get a Kaman, or however you pronounce that thing. It's a K1200. Yeah, interference, rotor, but it's the goofiest looking helicopter I've seen in a long time. Tell me, This versus that. And that's the car you're going to release a Demon with? Well, whatever. Maybe they couldn't get the Air Force to justify a training mission like they do for football games. The biggest thing that kind of ticked me off when Kiniskis is saying the whole "I'm talking to you" bit.
I'm talking to you. We built that car for you.
The whole time he was talking, my eyes were rolling back because I know he was not talking to me and he ain't talking to you. I do. I reply to every one of you guys. And I know, most of you, I know you by name. I know Todd, Paul, Kevin, I know John, Kay. Dude, you guys rock. I know you guys. We're doing something different here. It's about passion and the love for our culture. So hearing Kiniskis all whatever, how can I not feel like I just got slapped in the face? Don't bleep on my back and tell me it's raining. That's how I felt. And I know a lot of you guys felt the same. In fact, it was so bad, it took away from the awesomeness of the engineering.
Special shout out and thank you to our dealers who made the trip to be with us here tonight. We're born to fight back. Nothing's over till you decide it's over. We don't want those rules to change, but they did. And so we have to comply. And first, environmentally friendly, sustainable energy powered muscle car. I'm serious that the only way you could not be first, more politically correct, SRT is dead. Now, sure, some of you got a little nasty behind your keyboards. We deserve it.
Truth is, that car was pat on their back. Look how great we are. They didn't do this for us. They did it for them. Look what I did, and I'm gonna get a promotion. Now I'm gonna shove an EV down your throat. Which is also kind of mind-boggling, the fact that this car will have more power than the Banshee. Aren't you trying to sell that stupid thing? So now you're gonna go into a whole model year in 24 with the EV that makes less power than the internal combustion predecessor. Do you see a problem with that? Dodge, you got some issues coming forward. And dealerships, I get market adjustment. I get it. Times are gonna be tough. Inflation's a thing. But 200, 300, 400 bidding wars, that's when I pull back and I say, dude, I'm appreciative and grateful for the cars I have, but I'm out. I'm done. I'm going old school again. Buy myself some old cars. Not 100% sure how I feel about the fender flare removal delete kit on the front. I've talked about this in the comments about the stick shift car. In fact, let's look at it. I was thinking about doing that to this, mostly because it's got the pizza slicer wheels and I do want some thicker meat on the rears. You need a fender flare. I do like the crease in the fender here. It's very old school. I have been debating the whole rear only. Now I don't know if I want to do it because you know that everybody's going to be doing that. Great. That little saving of weight, I'm not sure if it compensates for the rest. It's not a Hellaphant. It has the 3-liter blower, upgraded internals and machining, but not once do they say if it's actually the same pistons, connecting rods, crank, and all that from the Hellaphant. Question is that heavier engine, drive shaft, rear end, will that outweigh, pun intended, its extra power and acceleration? Because one of the things I did notice this car when it launched, and not just at the reveal, but in other press releases and footage that has come out on various channels, the bounce. What's up with that bounce? Yes, it lifts off the ground. Wow, we like that kind of craziness. Sure, who doesn't want to pop a wheelie? But as the car makes contact the first time, it bounces back up into the air. That's not efficient. You don't want to bounce when you're launching. The original Demon, and even this car too, it just launches and then settles in smooth for the rest of the run. This car has a significant bounce. So something is up with the suspension, and my hunch is it's really nose heavy. These suspicions are also met with the fact that the board was not lit. Okay, you want to take as much risk as you can out of the car, but I'm assuming this car, you know, it's NHRA certified, sub 9-second car. But still, you know, you're still going to get a good time. It's show business. There's an expectation that, you know, you're going to do a little bit of showmanship. Throw up some numbers. Unless they were so off. Now, I'm not going to sit here and calculate because they do cuts. I can't tell when the cuts occur. But bottom line is, I have some doubts. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not questioning that it's a fast car. I know it's a fast car. Yes, the lights, the fireworks, you know, let's face it. I'm into heavy metal. Most of you guys know that. So pyrotechnic displays are always welcome. But at the same time, they also hide that bounce to the people that were there. There might be some issues. It still feels like a rushed car. We still got the issue of ethanol. You guys know I'm into Panthers. I love my Crown Vic. This is my first brand new car. It's what car I broke my neck in. As I'm getting better, it's getting better. Work will continue. Sometime around 2005, the Panthers went to ethanol. Back in that era, there was this big push to make ethanol, E85 blend, the standard for pump gas. On a car like this, ethanol kills it. It just wasn't built that way. And there's a lot of us that have these kinds of cars. I do have durability concerns about the car. The Demon was torture tested. They took that car flat out, dropping the hammer down on the drag straight something like 1,000 times, took the engine apart, measured all the specs, and it was still within fabrication specs. Highly impressive engineering, not just performance. Now, for somebody like me, that's music to my ears. I love a car that can take a beating and that will last. I'm not just some, you know,
oh, I want the latest and greatest, and once my lease is up, I don't care, I moved on.
No, I want these things to be durable. So I have my doubts. I'm actually a little happy to see they're using an iron block, but other things, I want to see what kind of billet main caps does the car have. I want to see what kind of drive shaft. I want to see the fuel lines. What are they doing to mitigate the hygroscopic effects of ethanol? That stuff will suck in water and trap it there. I have a dehumidifier running 24/7. I have meters everywhere, but most people don't do that. I also do it for the sake of my tools, so it's not like just the cars. But ethanol, there's nothing, even in a setup like this, it will corrode from the inside out. Will this car be as durable as the Hellcat, the Demon family? Are you gonna be able to find parts? These are legitimate questions, and Dodge hasn't really given us a lot of reassurance that beyond direct connection and parachutes and you know, the sexy stuff, are we gonna be able to operate these cars? Now, if it's a garage queen all its life, then yeah, that's not a concern. You're not gonna go through bearings, you're not gonna go through bushings, you're not gonna go through control arms, the kinds of things that do go bad on a car, especially in a high performance environment. If there's anybody down there that can tell me a little bit more, like I said, I'm a pleb. I have no special contacts. I don't know people working on the inside, but at the end of the day, it comes down to, can I get this car? And that's a resounding no. If you're in the market to get a 1,000 horsepower Challenger, what do? Well, I said it in my last video that if this is not a stage kit car, and it's not, I doubt stage 3 is gonna have that list there, plus driveline, plus all the other stuff, then why would I go with direct connection? I don't. And as luck would have it, or call it serendipity, looking through Haggerty, I was planning to make a video about that. They do have this big article dedicated to the Hellcat. In between the pages of this article, there's a little ad for something called the HPE 1000, the Hennessy Challenger, making 1,000 horsepower. Now I can guarantee you, right now Hennessy is working to bump that so it has more power than this Demon. So I will ask again, what's my incentive to go with direct connection? Nothing I can do or get from them will compete with the Demon. There's nothing I can do other than go full-blown aftermarket. And let's face it, if you are a collector, you're still thinking of, I don't want to wreck the car, ruin it, drilling stupid holes or whatnot. Hennessy is not Bubba in your backyard. Those cars do hold their value. We still cherish Yenko Camaros. We still cherish Tasca Fords. That's going to be my tip for you. Look into Hennessy. Look into other third-party manufacturers and modifiers especially those with some serious reputation. I really appreciate those of you guys that have given me well wishes and your prayers. Never in my life have I actually felt genuine concern from so many people. And that is the difference between us and any other channel out there. This is a very close-knit community. I want this to be not just a one-way street. If you're having some trouble, something that's on your mind that's bothering you, medical, financial, house, relationship, whatever it is, send an email, dacman@directive25.com. That's the channel email. And in the next episode, I will record and ask for everybody's well wishes, because you know what? It's a real boost when you see that we care for each other, because oil is thicker than blood. Not just some numbers on a screen and whatnot. It is more than that. I want us to be there for each other. Be able to tackle whatever the hell this clown world is throwing at us. So I'm Alex. This is Rip Roaring Garage, where oil is thicker than blood. Hem you like, and have a rip-roaring weekend. Welcome to Rick Rolling. Welcome to Rick Rolling Garage. And we know how crazy things are, but that's only gonna help them. Damn straight.